If you are listening to this message, then this is probably the last time you will ever hear my voice. I am not recording this so people will believe me. I am recording it because I do not want what I found to disappear with me. It started 13 nights ago. At exactly 3:13 a.m., I woke up because of a sound outside my window. At first it was not words. It sounded like whispering, like air moving through a closed room. I ignored it. The second night, it happened again, 3:13, the same sound. The third night, again. And then I started hearing something inside the whisper. Not a sentence, just 2 words. He knows. On the 4th night, I heard the words clearly. He knows. I could not tell if the sound was coming from outside, from somewhere inside the house, or from inside my own head. I looked at the clock. 3:13. On the 5th night, I looked outside, and that was when I saw him, standing at the end of the street, almost completely hidden by the dark, a tall, thin figure, black, perfectly still. Sometimes it looked like he was wearing a tall hat, maybe even a long coat, but his body was not human. He was too tall, too thin, like someone had stretched a man until nothing natural remained, and where his eyes should have been, there were 2 small red dots, looking directly at me. From that night on, every single night at 3:13, he was there, and every time I looked at him, he was closer. First across the street, then under the streetlight, then outside my yard. I tried to leave. I stayed at a hotel in another town. The first night there, I thought I escaped, until I woke up. 3:13. He knows. He was standing across the hotel, on the sidewalk, completely still. Nobody else could see him. I stayed at a friend's house. The same thing happened. I went to bars, crowded places, bright places. Anywhere I would not be alone. And every night at 3:13, people around me kept talking, laughing, drinking, while I saw him standing somewhere in the distance, watching me. That was when I started searching. I told nobody. I did not want people to think I was insane. I searched online, old newspapers, libraries, police reports, hospital records. I needed to know if I was the only one. I was not. I found reports from all over the world: Greece, Italy, England, America. Some were urban legends, some were old stories, some were official cases, but every single one had the same details. The time, 3:13. The phrase, he knows, and the figure, tall, thin, black, with 2 red eyes. In some records, they called him Knom. I do not know if that is really his name, or simply the name given to him by people who saw him, but eventually I understood what he is. He is not a ghost. He is not a demon. He is not something that comes from outside. He is guilt. He is the weight inside you when you know what you have done. In ancient Greece, there were the Erinyes, creatures that hunted people with guilty souls. Every country has its own version. Every culture has a different name for it. Guilt, conscience, punishment, a curse. But I think they all describe the same thing, that moment when the human soul can no longer survive the truth it carries. One of the oldest cases I found came from northern Italy, 1881. Two brothers, sons of a wealthy landowner. The older brother was supposed to inherit most of the family fortune, but shortly before the inheritance was divided, he asked his father to split everything equally, fairly. The younger brother never forgot that. Neither did his mother. 2 weeks later, the older brother was found dead near the stables. The case was ruled an accident, but years later, a servant claimed that just before dying, the older brother whispered, "I hope you never enjoy the things you stole from me." 4 nights after the funeral, the younger brother began waking up at 3:13. He claimed there was somebody standing in the garden. 1 month later, they found him in the dining hall, alive, but empty. Behind him, written on the wall, there was only one sentence: "He knows." The second case came from northern England, 1742. 2 women, friends since childhood, both married wealthy men, but one of them slowly became jealous of the other's life, her husband, her happiness, her future. When her friend became pregnant, she gave her an herbal drink. She claimed it would help the pregnancy. 3 days later, the child was gone. The same thing happened 4 times. Each time the same care. Each time the same loss. The woman slowly faded away. She stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped smiling. Her husband later wrote that she claimed every time she closed her eyes, she could hear babies crying. Shortly before she died, her friend confessed everything. She admitted she could not stand seeing her happier, and with her final breath, the dying woman simply said, "I forgive you, but I hope you never find peace for what you did to me." 4 nights after the funeral, she began seeing him, standing in the garden, watching her with 2 red eyes. 1 year later, they found her alive, but she no longer spoke. Every night at 3:13, she sat beside the window and whispered, "He knows." The final case came from a police archive, New Orleans, 1968, a homicide case. A man killed his wife after an argument, not because he hated her, because he loved her in a sick and obsessive way. He could not survive the thought of losing her. In his statement, he claimed that while he held her, he believed he was saving her. 4 nights after his arrest, the prison guards reported that he woke up every night at 3:13, standing in the corner of his cell, crying, begging forgiveness from something nobody else could see. On the 7th night, they found him kneeling in the dark, alive but hollow, as if something inside him had been removed. Scratched into the wall with his fingernails were 2 words: "He knows." There was always a pattern. 4 nights, always 4. 4 nights after the confession, after the truth, after the guilt became real, like something was waiting. And then I understood. It did not come to me by accident. 4 days before I heard the first whisper, Anna died. We had been together for 6 years. I loved her. I really loved her. That night, she told me she was pregnant, and I panicked. I was not ready. We argued, and in anger, I told her I wanted to leave her. I did not mean it. I regretted it the moment I said it, but she left crying. She drove away. A little later, she started calling me, again and again and again. I did not answer. I do not know why. Maybe I was angry. Maybe I was afraid. Maybe I thought we would talk in the morning. There was no morning. Her car was found off the road. She lost control. She was still alive while she was calling me. The last thing she left me was a message. I love you. I forgive you. 4 nights later, I woke up at 3:13. He knows. Now I understand. He is not here because she cursed me. He is not here for revenge. He is here because I know. I know I should have answered the phone. I know I should have stopped her. I know the last thing she heard from me was that I did not want her anymore. And now he is here. He is no longer outside the house. He is no longer standing in the street. He is behind the door. If you ever hear whispering at 3:13, do not look outside. Do not search for the figure. Do not try to see his eyes. Because if you see him, it means he already knows. And the worst part is that you know too. He knows.